Good evening, Scott. I'm sorry to hear about your job loss, but after 4 games of that CardiGONE and a 9-0 loss, you simply had to go. We'll see you on the pod next week, mate.
Evening, Tate. How are we?
All good, thank you, mate. All good. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. All good. Another episode, and this week I'd like to introduce a new segment. Tate, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so one of our fans from Clapham told me about this segment. He's a keen listener to the podcast. Shout out to Todd. And he came up with a trivia idea that we should do each week at the start of the pod. And we'll ask a question to the listeners, and I'll ask it to Jack, and I'll reveal the answer at the end. So this is the first ever Tate's trivia teaser.
Here we
Jack
go,
did
boys.
make the name up.
Oh, yeah. You said it, though.
But here we go. I'll try and be as clear as we can. And listeners at home, write it down and, put it in the comments if you think you got the answer, and we'll shout it at the end. Right. Which 3 players have scored a hat-trick in the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League?
3 players, okay.
They've scored a hat-trick in the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League.
Okay, I'm just noting that down. I will be thinking throughout the whole pod, but interesting.
There's 3 of them. I've got the answers here, so don't look at my piece of paper.
Okay, no worries.
Right.
Like you hinted at the beginning about Mr. Scott Parker, I think we can only start there, really, can't we? Start at
We
Anfield.
can only start there.
9-0 drubbing.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, we all got our prediction wrong of the first manager of the month to get sacked.
Yes, that is true. That is true. As we're talking now, we've got BT on, and Leeds are about to play Everton tonight. And yeah, my and Tate's were both Jesse Marsh, weren't they, to go within 2-3 months? But I think we're horribly wrong with that.
And a surprising one, really. Well, we'll go on to the 9-0 in a bit. But
Yeah.
do you think it was harsh, him being sacked?
There's obviously a lot more we don't know about it. There's no way it's just about the results. It can't be.
No.
They won their first game at home against Villa. I mean, Villa don't look great at the minute, but I mean that's a pretty good result. First game of the season at home, decent for Bournemouth, and then they've played Arsenal, City, Liverpool,
And Liverpool, yeah.
all in a row. And Arsenal's 3-0, City 4, and then
Liverpool 9.
Liverpool.
But 9-0 is
9-0.
unacceptable.
I mean, before I move on, 9-0 is sacked. You are done. That he shouldn't even get back on a coach. That is awful.
And I think he was the second manager to get done 9-0 this weekend because Dundee got done and he
and
got sacked.
Everton exactly sacked. And like I said, there's definitely more to it. It didn't just get sacked on the results. It just can't be. Like you're at Bournemouth. You're a tiny little club. You got a 12,000 seat stadium. They're not expected to beat Liverpool. Not expected to beat City. But I think the 9-0 at the weekend is the way they performed or lack of performance, just awful.
Well, in the
awful.
statement that Bournemouth released, they do the normal pleasantries, but it ends, in order for us to keep progressing as a team and as a club as a whole, it is unconditional that we are all aligned in strategy to run the club sustainably. We must also show belief in and respect for one another.
Yeah.
And he's been out saying he wants more money spent on players.
Yeah, I've seen that word aligned has been used loads in reports and on the media, and even the club, obviously Bournemouth themselves, a statement, and a lot's been read into that statement today, I think. And that
shows a falling out between.
I think there's definitely something deeper, and whether it's transfers or the way they play or what Scott Parker might have wanted and what the owner wanted, it's there's a lot more to it. But like I keep saying, 9-0 is just he had to go. It's time to go.
And it's and it started off Firmino, I think, got the first one. After maybe a minute or two, it was very early on.
To be honest, the goals is...
It was 5-0 at half time, that's what I remember.
It's on average 1 goal every 10 minutes, and like I think Firmino scored twice, 3 assists. So
he got a hat-trick.
Oh, he got a hat-trick, did he?
I think so. Or maybe one was an own goal.
I think, yeah.
One maybe got put as an own goal.
The Firmino that's dead and buried and finished.
Last week.
The 30-year-old Brazilian who's done. Turns up and shows everyone how good he is. But
that does show the standard of what Bournemouth are. I mean, Arsenal made it look like Brazil against them, and Liverpool were also awful against United, but Bournemouth are...
I think, against Scott Parker said it when he came out in his interview. You saw it. He just looked absolutely defeated. He just wanted to go and cuddle him. No matter what you think about him, what you say, but he looks so upset, didn't he? There's nothing. What can you do though? You've played at Anfield. You've just come up with right lads. We're gonna keep it tight. First 10 minutes, going to do this, do that, and then keep on the counter, 1-0, whatever, 0-0 half time, 2-0 down within 5 minutes. Cheers.
Absolutely battered. And then
not good.
A good goal from Diaz, scored a nice second, scored both 2 goals actually, good to be fair.
Yeah.
Trent with an absolute spanker.
That was a belter, wasn't it? That was a belter.
It was a shocking goal from Van Dijk. Well, it's just a simple header. If you're
really,
losing 4-0 already and you can't mark from a corner, what hope have you got?
When you saw the highlights, it was just a goal reel of all their goals, and that was it. Bournemouth offered nothing, absolutely nothing.
But their goalkeeper didn't cover himself in glory a couple of times, and they're just full of championship players. Like we said the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think I could name a few players from most teams, but
Bournemouth, is poor. And I think I looked at who they've brought in and say that I think, for example, they brought in maybe 4 or 5 players, but three of those players were on a free, and 2 were brought in. One was like 12, one was about 13-14 million, and that's just not going to do you any favours.
Have any of them either played Premier League football?
Probably, yeah. One's from the Dutch league. I'm not sure about the other bloke, but yeah, they're just. And Scott Parker said in his interview, they're just ill-equipped and they're just not, sadly, not good enough. And I think,
it could be the Norwich of what happened.
Yeah, and their goal. You look at their goal difference now. I think it's like -14. Obviously after that 9-0, but that's already 3-6 points already gone. Like,
if you had just lost that 5-6-0, for example, I still think he stays in the job, because like I said
earlier, if he loses like 4 or 5-0. You go, it's a bit of a shame, bit of a poor performance, but is what it is. Anfield away, it's fine. Next week we'll crack on. But 9-0 is just, you can't defend that. That's terrible.
Because like you said, they've played 4 games. They've played Villa, City, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
Yeah.
And realistically, 3 points out of 12 against them.
Yeah.
Ain't too bad.
No, it isn't. It isn't at all. And I suppose it's a shame as such that he's been sacked this early, but. Yeah, you just can't defend that 9-0, and
9-0 is a sackable offence.
Yeah, and there must be a lot deeper than that. I looked today, their owner, Bournemouth's owner, I think he bought the club for under $1 million, and is probably worth, like him himself or the club is probably worth 150, 200 million as of today. And the way the way they've built their club and got to the Premier League sort of up and down recently, it's been like little steps here and there, and they buy sort of young, sort of high potential players that might be good, they might be terrible, but then they sell them on, then they reinvest their funds.
Well, just thinking off the top of your head, if you think they bought Wilson, Mings, Ake,
even Ryan Fraser.
There's 4 players there.
Ramsdale as well was at Bournemouth for a spell, wasn't he?
The 4 players there, they've made all British players, I think. I might miss someone, but and they've all made a good profit on them. Yeah,
and when they got relegated. What was it, 2-3 seasons ago?
Lockdown season.
Yeah.
2020.
So when they got relegated that season, they sold £80 million worth of players, and they reinvested that, and then they've come back up recently. So that is the sort of model they like to go on, and maybe Scott Parker was thinking, if we want to stay in the league and maybe not compete, but stay in that division.
Or be like a Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
that
just
sort of
fight
standard,
and just be good enough to be in the league. We have to go and spend this money, and maybe the owner wasn't allowing it, or the amounts of money.
Their stadium is so small.
Yeah, it's awful, and that
they can't.
They can't generate. Yeah, exactly. They can't generate any money on that. Like I said earlier, it's about 12,000 seater. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how they get now. It'd be very interesting. I don't know. Obviously, for me, first one that comes to is big old Sean Dyche, but.
Yeah, Dyche.
Who knows? Allardyce. Yeah, get Allardyce in. I saw I'm sure you talk about it, but Scott Parker's little fashion statement, the cardigan blazer, but put Allardyce in that. I think he's the only man.
Yeah,
I think
he's the only man could fit the cardigan.
Yeah, I think he's the only bloke in football that could fit in it. So
shocking cardigan. That we did look online. It's worth £1,300.
Yeah. I think Scott Parker's got every design and colour, so I think he's doing all right.
There's no need for him to wear that. And as the title says, Cardi is now gone. The Cardi's gone.
Yeah, the Cardi's gone. No more 4 stripes. Goodbye, Parker.
Goodbye, Parker. And moving on to the next game then. Hello, Haaland. Man is a beast.
The cyborg notches a hat trick. The bloke is a freak.
Absolute monster drinking goth. The bloke is just psychotic. I have made a note here because if you see his hat trick or his second goal and he just loses the play, if you look at his face, he's absolutely madman.
I saw someone say that the hat trick was like the most uninspiring and like least threatening hat trick, but that's just irrelevant. Like, you've scored a hat-trick in the Premier League, but also that goal you're talking about, the one where he gets played through, I think it might be Joel Ward or someone. Yeah. Just like, he doesn't exist. He's like he's a little baby. Like, he's just not even there. It's mental. Because Joel Ward's obviously tightening him, trying to tussle him and pull back and make a tackle. As he makes his tackle, he just jumps about 2 or 3 yards to the right. Haaland's 1-on-1. The bloke is, like we keep saying, he's just absolutely mental, like out of this world.
There's one thing he's not very good at, though, and it's celebrating. Honestly, he just chucks his arms around, screams, and hopes for the best.
But then I suppose he just runs and just jumps. I think his record is he scored 166 goals in 165 games.
Bloody hell.
So if you're scoring that much and that regular, you're not going to celebrate, are you? So
you need to get a regular
kick off. Yeah.
Do a Kane little jump up or a Shearer.
Little kick off, and we're back scoring again. But I don't have much on this game because Palace obviously started well, 2-0 up early on.
Palace are their sort of bogey club, aren't they, at home?
Yeah, they've done their record there recently. Has been
really good. And they went 2-0 up as well.
Yeah.
At half time, but
yeah,
everyone still thought that.
Probably went to their heads there thinking, bloody hell, how are we 2-0 up
Although
here?
at 2-0, we will mention the. Well, do you think it even went to VAR in the end? Well, it might have gone to VAR. I can't remember if it did, but the
Ederson, wasn't it?
The Ederson when he threw it out straight to AU, and AU scored, but apparently it had been blocked or something.
Yeah,
that's a bit harsh, man.
Yeah, I agree. I'd sort of agree with the ref, to be honest. I think the rule is that when the goalie's releasing the ball, whether it's a throw or kick, whatever it might be, that a player can't interfere with that release. Yeah. And when you properly slow it down and all that, then the bloke's leg, I think it's Mateta, his leg is literally out before Ederson's even thinking about throwing it. So, yeah, and I'm sort of glad it's been...
He gets away with one, though.
Yeah, and I'm sort of glad it's been disallowed, really, because that could happen every week and it'd just be awful to watch, wouldn't it? So.
And fair play, because I was glad City came back, because otherwise it would have been a pretty boring league title this season.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, what the Cougars?
5 points clear could have been.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Don't worry about who you've played, but yeah.
But no, a fantastic hat trick from him, and 6 goals in 4 games for him. And
yeah, I just think it was similar to.
I think he'll carry on at that rate.
Yeah, I can't see him stopping really. I think it was similar to the Newcastle game in that they were a couple of goals behind, but it sort of just angered them a bit and like, all right, let's wake
get a
up.
bit bored, don't they?
Yeah, they probably need a little
kick up backside.
Yeah, a little kick up backside or give the other team a 2-goal head start and then we'll start playing, show how good we are. I think, and it's just that way. I just they were 2-0 up early and probably thinking, how the hell has that happened? Went at half time and Pep maybe. I don't think, to be honest, I've heard that, and what Haaland come out and said, and some of the players, that Pep would just said, like, carry on, we're doing absolutely fine. Like, we're 2-0 down, but we're doing absolutely fine. We're more than good enough to win this game. And the Cyborg stepped up and done a job.
They do look good. And who have they got? The Nuts Forest at home.
Yeah, Forest, is that tonight or tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, yeah. Looks like a drubbing
again,
doesn't it? Yeah, could be Cooper out of a job by Friday. So.
One last thing on that. I think there's probably a few listeners that watched the or heard about the 9-0 Bournemouth and also saw Palace at City at home to Palace, and I'm umming who to put in their fantasy team as their captain.
Yeah.
And there's a few people, me including myself, Mo Salah.
No,
not one
shocking.
goal.
Didn't get involved at all, did he? Yeah, rubbish. Absolutely
and
rubbish.
Didn't captain Haaland and missed out a lot of points. But
that's I know we spoke about the game already, but if you're Bournemouth and you're told, right, at the end of this game, Salah's not going to be involved in any of the goals, you think, we've got a chance here. We must have done all right. But
he missed that open goal.
But the other players stepped up, didn't they? Firmino, like I said, was brilliant. Trent scored a worldie, so yeah.
And then moving on to Chelsea, Leicester, bottom of the league, Leicester now.
Yeah, they have. I told you, they're having a. I knew it.
Not looking good.
They were going to have a stinker this year.
Fafana's now gone, basically, at time of recording.
Was it 80, 75, something like that?
I think about 75. Yeah. It was a little bit less than Maguire.
Oh, that's fair enough, yeah. It's probably a good price. But yeah, no, they're in deep trouble. They're a proper mess at the minute. Real mess.
Well, they're a bit unlucky with the Callum Gallagher? No, it's Conor Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher, yeah.
Absolute brain dead red card.
Poor,
28 minutes in, 2 yellows. The second yellow as well is atrocious.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what's going through. Like you said, it's 30 minutes in the game. Like he just wasn't. He wasn't there at all.
At least his home start.
Yeah.
He's never started a game there before.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I feel sorry for him, but he's like built up to playing for Chelsea, and everyone knows how impossible it is to start and stay within Chelsea once you've been through the academy and things like that. But yeah, I just thought this year, and again, it's 4 games in. There's a lot of football to be played, but I just thought this could be his little moment, and I'm sure he thought the same. But yeah, the weekend did not help him one bit at all.
It was just so brain dead. The second yellow on the counter attack, just let him go.
Yeah.
Like,
chase him and whatever. Yeah, exactly.
If you do, and it's not even its most unsubtle of trips.
Yeah, it was awful. And it was a bad. He caught Harvey Barnes right on the bottom of the sort of leg, just above his foot. It's quite a dangerous tackle. But yeah, he deserved it. And I'm glad the ref did it, because sometimes the refs. I know we talk about the refs and how bad. Yeah, they sat early. They go, it's a bit early. Like, won't give you. It's a red card. Like, both those tackles were yellows, and obviously results in a red. So.
And talking about the ref bottling it, he made a strange decision for me personally.
The Mendy.
On my notes, I've got quote unquote foul.
Yeah.
On Mendy.
Yeah, was it a foul? Definitely not. No,
I don't really see any foul in it.
No.
Ball's going down, stuck in the back of the net, and it's one of them. Like, goalkeepers for me, I think, are probably too protected.
Yeah, they get away with loads, don't they? The refs just immediately, as soon as the goalie's down, they give a foul, and there's no questions asked, because what happens all the time, doesn't it, in the box when the defender's against the attacker, like grappling and whatever. But as soon as on the goalie, it's a foul, and
it's never
goes the other way. But yeah, they were fortunate and got in at half time 0-0, and they've come out second half. Sterling scored early on, didn't he, with a deflected goal, and then he scores sort of midway through the second half.
Yeah, it was Reece James cross across, wasn't it? And it's typical Sterling back post.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, how many times you see that for Man City? Just a little tap in,
6 yards out, open goal. He gets that's his movement for you.
Yeah,
how good he is.
And he's
and he should have had a hat hit the post as well, I think.
Yeah, and that's his first goals with Chelsea, and Sterling's off the mark.
I think he's been their best player for me this year. He's actually looked. Their front three for me is really weird.
They don't really have a forward, do they?
So they
have
just like lots of different
loads of
players
little midfielders.
Things,
yeah,
but he's looked good for me.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what he would bring to them.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on Sterling, to be honest, but
he looked really, really good too.
Yeah, but then Leicester, I think they'll be gutted about that, because Chelsea 10 men, Chelsea aren't the same team at the moment. They haven't started brilliantly, and towards the end, Leicester piled on the pressure. Perez had an opportunity, Mendy flicked it onto the post. Vardy had a couple chances, so I think Brendan Rodgers would be gutted. But like I said, they're in a proper mess at the minute, and
big 2 days for them.
Yeah, massive. And there's a few clubs. The next couple of days are huge in terms of the transfer market. And like we said about Leicester the other week, if they could end up losing more players before they get anyone in, so it's a big couple of days for Mr. Rodgers.
They've got Man United at home on Thursday, so another tough game.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
And then moving forward to the fourth game of the week, which we'll have a chat about. Top of the league.
Gooners. The Gunners.
Just still. I'll kick this one off then. I had the pleasure of watching this in a pub in Clapham with the gaffer, RJ9.
RJ9.
That's where the pleasure stopped. Because he was...
I bet he's awful, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was okay, actually, until the second half. We were joined, actually, somewhere around him by an Aston Villa fan.
Really?
The worst takes ever.
Really? Did he back Gerrard?
No, he hated him.
Oh, good.
Hated him.
That's all right.
Hated him. Wants Dean Smith back, though.
Oh, God.
But no, first off, I thought Arsenal played really quite well. Should have been ahead. Saka had a good chance. Xhaka had a good chance. But I was confident enough. I remember I said last week on the pod, I said I reckon both teams will score and home win just. And
lo and behold, it was.
Second half, he started quite well. Jesus missed a good chance. And then against the run of play, Mitrovic, who was unbelievable.
Really? I sort of watched it, but didn't take too much notice.
He was unbelievable. He had Gabriel, mainly Gabriel he picked on, basically.
He's a bit of a menace this year, isn't he, Mitrovic? A bit of a menace.
What a goal for him. Like, Gabriel was obviously his muck-up and his mistake, an absolute shocker from him. But
you were 1-0 up already, weren't you?
No,
you are.
They took the lead.
Oh, they went 1-0 up. Oh, wow.
About 62 minutes, I think.
Oh, dear,
But it's an unbelievable tackle from him. To not make us... How many times you see that sort of goal and the striker tracks him back and just fouls him unnecessarily? Or Gabriel makes more of a dig and makes the foul. But clean tackle, 100% no foul, gets his head up and just slots it past
But that was their game plan, but nicked a goal 1-0 away at Arsenal, and they did put up a bit of a fight. They didn't just roll over and go, we done all right, but 3-0 Arsenal, cheers. Fulham did put up a bit of a performance, and I thought they might have nicked a few points off you, but
as soon as that goal went in, their game plan just changed completely, and they were really looking good, hitting the ball around nicely, crosses in. I mean, luckily we equalised. Got really lucky goal to be fair. Odegaard's deflected shot. He was fantastic. I thought all game, Odegaard.
He started well, and his season started very well.
But then as soon as we scored, they could have scored again. I think it was another header from. It was actually a corner that was never ever a corner, but there we go. I can't remember who scored, who had the header, but it was a good save from Ramsdale. And then in the 86th minute, I think it was.
Yeah.
Gabriel scored off the corner. Leno came out and
I saw he looked right.
He played quite well.
And then it was one of them. It was obviously Leno sort of the old club and come back and classic. Classic goalkeeper, like plays out his skin, does and that's probably why Fulham was still in the game for so long. It was a shame though. I thought they might hold on, but it was just sort of typical Arsenal. And so many times you see them and they scored late on, especially at home. They always score late goals, and it was sort of checked on VAR, wasn't it, for something ridiculous? But
sleep, apparently, but
I just think they just look at something on VAR to give a foul to stop the goal.
That was the joke of it. It took, but this is going back. It worked in Arsenal's favour this week.
Yeah.
But that goal was scored in the 84th minute, I think, and I think kickoff was then the 89th minute.
Ridiculous.
1 minute went to the 90th minute, and then he added on 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there was only 1 minute extra added on, like in the whole game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Got the win, didn't you?
Got the win.
4 out of 4.
4 out of 4, and moving on to the next game. Well, obviously Villa, but we'll leave that there for the time being. We'll have a quick break.
Yeah, we'll have a little stop and then come back to the football.
We're back for your listeners.
Moving on to Villa West Ham. The mighty Hammers got the win, 1-0.
Yes, first goal of the season, first points of the season, and I imagine quite a few relieved Hammers, especially from my WhatsApp.
Yep, and definitely, I'm sure 80% of Chelmsford who all support West Ham were buzzing. Like I said last week, they finally got off their chairs and could shout, "Irons!"
What a goal to celebrate as well.
Yeah, what a finish, wasn't it? Pablo Fornals, the mini Messi. It was an absolute joke.
Very lucky goal. Very boring game, to be honest. I had a 0-0 written all over it, but
yeah, I mean, it was on TV, thank God. But wait, no, West Ham weren't on TV. Aren't you massive? Aren't you a huge club from East London? Aren't you a massive club? And also Aston Villa, aren't you a huge? You've won you've won the European Cup, but you're not on telly. Well done. But yeah, Dean Ashton, one of your best players ever, West Ham. He was covering it on Sky Sports, and he said at half time, he said, "What a waste of 45 minutes that was." So yeah, it tells you all about the game. It was sounded awful, but eventually West Ham scored, and you can't really ask for more as an away game. I think Moisey just went there and said, "Right, we are not losing today." And as the game progressed, they just might have grew in confidence. Changed the way they sort of went about the game and nicked a goal. So
yeah, I did think was interesting is they set up with 3/5 at the back, however you want to say it. New signings,
they started
Emerson, which came out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was rumoured. Came out of nowhere, wing back.
Skamaka up front as well.
Do you want to say his name properly?
No, not yet. We'll see how tomorrow night goes.
And yeah, he started. Antonio moved to the bench, and it might be just a coincidence they've got their first win there. But I think.
They were playing a poor, playing a poor Villa team.
But it's about time they put the £35 million player in, and I think they've gone the 3 at the back because they know they've got you, and they want to match you up.
I'd say we'll talk about it, but tomorrow night is a totally different game. But yeah, they played a very very poor Villa team.
So Villa are, like we said, we met that guy in the pub who was a Villa fan who weren't too happy with Gerrard.
Yeah.
But they just seem
way
all over the place.
I think
I know they've got a couple of injuries, but they're playing. I think it was Courtney Horse and Callum Chambers as centre backs.
Because they've signed that Diego Carlos, I think, the centre half from Seville, and he's now out till next year.
Yeah.
And that's obviously and for Gerrard, he must be gutted because he removed Mings from captaincy. That just showed the intent he wanted with Diego Carlos.
I don't think that's gone down well.
No, and now it's almost backfired because that main centre half he's brought in is now injured, and he's got to rely on his other players that he probably didn't want to. So yeah, they're again similar to Leicester. They're just in a real rut. And yeah, I just don't know. I'm sure Gerrard's racking his brains, but yeah, they are struggling big time in a minute.
Well, I've got this from the weekend, I found out. Aston Villa's starting 11 and subs that were used during the game cost a combined 247 million.
Bloody hell.
But they have now just won. They've now just won 3 of their last 15 league games.
Yeah, they've lost 9.
Arsenal up next.
I saw that.
And then Manchester City.
They've lost 9 in their last 15 games, which is Premier League games, and that's poor. And like you said, they've got Arsenal City coming up. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, bruv.
The sense I see that the Villa fans, Steven Gerrard's nothing to them.
Yeah, he got booed off.
He's a good footballer.
They got booed off at full time as well.
He's no club legend. They would rather have John Terry there.
Yeah,
that was from the sense I get from the bloke I was talking to. At least he's got a bit of alliance to Villa.
Yeah,
but Gerrard just comes across as it's the me show for him. It's similar to Lampard, how I get it.
Yeah,
they're two.
Their name
big
precedes
ego
itself.
footballers.
They were incredible players, but are they actually good managers, coaches? Can they do a job? And at the minute, I think they're both proving that they can't, and they're both pretty bad. And Gerrard at Villa at the minute is there having a stinker, having an absolute stinker. And I saw, like, you watch Match of the Day and watch some of the highlights, whatever. And Ings, like the main centre forward at the weekend, you can see they're struggling because Danny Ings was like chasing balls left and trying to pick the ball up deep and throwing his hands up in the air and getting the ump when he loses it, obviously, and whatever he's doing, going down the right. Just he's your number 9. He's your centre forward. Just stay between the goalposts. Your team's struggling. You need to score a goal. Just get in the box and try and allow your team to deliver the ball to you. But yeah, they're struggling. And again, they bought a lot of players last year, didn't they, in the transfer window? And I don't think they've come off yet. So
no, the money they've spent from Grealish has not really been. You'd rather have Grealish there.
Yeah,
100 million.
yeah, definitely.
100 million they seem to have.
And that happens a lot. Spurs are a perfect example of that. We've done it before, but yeah, you get all that money, you think, oh great, we've got all this money, what do we do with it? And you try and reinvest it, and sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, at West Ham, just a good result for him, really. Like, you take it 1-0. The start of the season they've had as well. Like I said, they haven't scored until the weekend. So
first clean sheet and first 3 points.
Yeah, first goal in the Prem this year, first 3 points. So
it gives them a bit of confidence going
exactly,
into the cup
and
final.
Tomorrow night, the World Cup final for West Ham. So they're perfect. They're in a perfect place, aren't they?
And like I said, it can all change quite quickly. Like, we're moving on to the next game. With all Aston Villa need is pick up something at Arsenal or City, and Gerrard's the next best manager.
Yeah, exactly. But it's tough, isn't it? That is very hard.
You see how quickly it changes, because like you said, we're moving on to Manchester United. 2 wins out of 2.
Yeah.
No one's
and now the
move's
move's different.
anymore.
Yeah. No one wants Ten Hag out. Ten Hag's a man. They're playing good football. They've got good players again. So they've just bought Casemiro.
Just bought Anthony for €100 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They can't say they're not spending the money, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's not the Glazers' money." All that. Well, irrelevant. They've just bought Anthony for 100 odd. They've just bought Casemiro. Like, whether it's fucking Joe Bloggs down the road or the Blazers, the Glazers.
Yeah, you're still getting £100 million.
Thinking about Scott Parker's Blazer.
You're still getting £100 million spent.
Yeah, you're still spending that money on those players that are coming in. So yeah, you can't really complain about that. But yeah, 1-0 for United, wasn't it, away at Southampton?
It seemed all right. I didn't actually watch the game, to be honest, but watching the highlights back, Man United seemed pretty in control.
I think they'll be a good team again. They're not going to be title winning, and they're going to win all the trophies and finish top 4. But I think they'll be good. It'll still be a hard game. Still Man United. But yeah, there's still loads of problems with United and certain players that shouldn't even be at the club. For me, Eriksen's shouldn't be starting centre mid next to whoever, like McTominay or Casemiro in the future. But yeah, Eriksen's not the man for me at all.
But I just think they looked better, and Martinez looks a lot better next to Varane than he does next to Maguire.
Definitely, yeah.
I can't pronounce his name. Left back
Malacia.
Yeah. Looks
exciting again. Like we said about West Ham,
he's
a new signing, something fresh. Just give him a go. And
I'm not at all convinced on Diego Dallo, but he's better than Wan-Bissaka. So
yeah, he played a nice ball to Fernandes, who finished it well at the weekend.
So they've got Arsenal next week on.
That'll be the test, I think.
Casemiro will be in there. Anthony will be starting probably. At Old Trafford, Arsenal's record is atrocious.
What's the record? They haven't won since.
They've won once since 2006, which was the lockdown game. 2020, no fans. So, even last year, we'll be going to this in another pod, but away at Old Trafford I hate that game.
Yeah, I didn't know your record was that bad.
Honestly, we've played them
but
teams when they had. Remember when Marcus Rashford was like 17 years old,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
kicked the football in his life, and just came and like tore
Unreal,
Koscielny
yeah.
and Mertesacker apart when Arsenal were like second in the league.
Yeah.
Any team they put out, they normally beat us down there.
But then it might be you maybe a couple of weeks ago or last week you think, oh, United, that's a perfect time to play them. But for me, that's Arsenal's biggest test. You got Villa tomorrow at home, should be comfortable, and then hopefully United turn up like they did against Liverpool, and it show you how good or what position Arsenal are in at the minute.
But yeah, the next another good result for them. 6 points out of the last 6, and still above Liverpool.
Yep.
So moving on to Brentford, Everton.
It's pretty uneventful.
Not really much to talk home about, but apart from £60 million Gordon scoring,
the little
ferret. I think he's scored 6 goals now in the Premier League, so it's £10 million a goal.
Yeah, I think he's worth it. Watching Chelsea at the minute, I think Gordon's the man for you.
Gordon's the one person that's going to fix all their problems.
Yeah. Sorry, we just got Southampton, Chelsea on the telly at the minute.
I thought about doing something quite special, but it didn't really turn
out.
No,
yeah, Chelsea on attack, but
and I think Brentford equalised 80th minute. I think it's Mbembo maybe.
Yeah.
But
and Brentford haven't started badly at all. They're pretty solid side. I think going to Brentford is quite a difficult game. And I'm sure Everton will be quite happy with that point.
Everton don't look great, but they don't look as bad as some teams. They look like 6th to 7th bottom. So and
that's normally the case. If you're down the bottom, you like you just said, they're okay, but they're not as bad as the rest of them. So they'll probably survive purely on the basis of 3 teams being
that's
terrible.
Exactly what I was about to say. They look bad, but they don't look bad enough to go down. Worse teams look worse. Yeah,
and that's probably not good for Everton. They don't want that at all, do they? Their fans especially aspire for a lot more.
Yeah,
but I think they understand the situation they're in. They're in a bit of a mess. They're low on funds. They're selling their best players, and they've got a new stadium coming up. There's a lot happening. So I'm not sure, and I don't think Lampard's the man again. But who can they go and get? That's the thing.
I think he's a bit more popular there than Gerrard is at Villa.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's probably because of last week. Sterling just missed another opportunity.
Water's wet.
Yeah. Moving
on to the prediction game we had last week, and Jack sitting across to me, smiling away with a Peroni. Yeah, he got the win.
Yeah, I said Brighton 2-1. I think you went Leeds, didn't you? 2-1.
I went Leeds 2-1.
Yeah, that was a brave prediction, but it was again similar to the Brentford game. Not that exciting, nothing really to talk about as such.
Nice goal from Gross.
Yeah,
and continues a really good start from Brighton. I think a third.
Yeah, they're
fourth.
Yeah, they're like you said, they've started really well. They look good, and like we said before, last week those 2 teams, Brighton and Leeds, have sort of turned up and surprised a few people. I think Brighton have become a really tough game again.
And I'm hoping for my sake this is the start of the Leeds downfall, because
we need it. We need Marsh out.
I predicted them to be bottom.
Yeah. No, but they'll be obviously annoyed they lost, but they didn't look horrible. It wasn't as if they were terrible, and it just that Brighton nicked the goal and held out. So 1-0 again, nothing to really talk about. Pretty standard.
And then to finish off the last 2 Sunday games, we'll start at Molineux.
Wolves,
Newcastle.
And
2 good goals in this game.
Yeah, very good. Neves and St. Maximin.
Who were 2 players I think could and should play for better teams. Definitely have the ability to.
There's a lot of talk about Ruben Neves, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've always thought he should go to Man United or something. Man United should have a player like that.
I think they're better off with Ruben Neves and Eriksen in the middle, 100%, definitely. Yeah, but I think 2 even sides on their day. Wolves, I know they've started pretty inconsistently, but on their day they're a good team. Newcastle are becoming a strong team again.
Yeah, they look a really hard team to beat Newcastle.
Yeah, and I watched the game. It wasn't a thriller, but Newcastle just held in, and again, like sort of similar to West Ham, as the game grew, they just got a little bit more confident. And St. Maximin's goal, what a hit, wasn't it? Plucked out the sky, volleyed,
which either goes into the rosette or goes in right into the corner.
Yeah, definitely. And
see the way Sarr just watched it go.
Yeah, there's no chance, was he? But luckily for him, it found the corner and nicked a point for Newcastle.
I'm sure they could have won it in the end. He had another chance running through, but smashed it straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, but Wolves aren't in trouble. Newcastle will be a decent side, I think. But 1-0 at Molineux.
And then if you want to kick off the
Tottenham.
Spurs.
Tottenham travelled to Nottingham Forest. To be honest, it was obviously great. We won 2-0, fantastic. Kane scored twice, but we don't look convincing at all. We look. We're not bad. Obviously, we've got 10 points out of 12. We think, bloody hell, he must be really good at the minute. But we are. They're definitely, the results are overshadowing what we're actually playing like, and like sort of keep hitting that. If we play that tomorrow night against West Ham, I think we're in trouble. We are in trouble.
Well, obviously you scored off that 5 minutes, wasn't it, Kane?
Yeah, and I thought we'd just open up. I thought 3-4-0. Yeah, it just didn't happen. Forest were good. I think Forest will be good at home. Their fans obviously missed the Premier League, and they're back in the big time. But
and then going on to the VAR decision. Oh my God,
Steve Cook! Wow,
that's the sort of thing.
Absolutely shocking.
This is why everyone loves football, though. Obviously, it should have been a red card, penalty, 2-0. You think game over?
100%.
Within 10 seconds, it's still 1-0. Missed a penalty. The crowd got up, and he's on the pitch still.
Yeah, and
then
Cook
Forest
looks like a hero. And they were well up for it. And of course, they were buzzing after. And now, Cook's made that decision and got away with one. And he's, like I said, they've still got 11 people.
And tell me why that is not a red card.
Ridiculous.
Because watching it on TV, they gave the penalty, and then they're checking for, is it a deliberate handball
denial
for a red card?
But denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So you're telling me the ball isn't going to land on Kane's head?
Well, even if it isn't, you've just flicked it over the crossbar.
It's
like,
still
what are you doing?
That is a goal scoring opportunity. If it has to be, it just has to be. Like Kane is waiting for the ball. He's going to do his utmost to score. So that is an opportunity to score, which Steve Cook's hand has denied. So how is it not a red card? It's awful.
It's an absolute shambles of a decision.
And it's the same because West Ham, when they went to Forest, and the bloke dove and made a save, the ball is going towards the goal, so that's denying another goal scoring opportunity, and he's not sent off.
It's quite clear what they've been briefed to do in training.
Ridiculous. It's been ridiculous.
And like I sent you in the week,
Cook's had previous he's
didn't get away for that.
Weird defender. Weird. It was such
But if that goes in and it's a red card, then it's game over. And you just play Ole football for 20 minutes or how long ago it was.
And Kane took it, and as a Tottenham fan, and I'm pretty sure every Tottenham fan,
he don't miss, does he?
Yeah, you think, right, thanks. That's another goal. Kane slot away, wherever he does, left, right, top, right, middle of the goal, whatever. But yeah, I mean, everyone said, it's a shocking penalty. Well, no, it just wasn't.
He doesn't take shocking penalties.
No, it just wasn't. He hit it hard, and it might not have hit the post or hit the side netting and gone in, but if the goalie goes the other way, everyone's like, what a penalty,
if you watch it back, you see how early Henderson goes.
Yeah, he's obviously committed to that side, because Kane probably higher percentage goes that way, and it came off and Henderson makes a save. So you can't say, it was a shocking penalty. Like, no, it just wasn't. He's hit it as hard as he normally would. He didn't change it. He didn't do a stupid
run. If the keeper goes the wrong way, it's a great penalty.
Exactly, and everyone's celebrating.
He has just gone really early.
Yeah, although
and that's the only reason he saved it.
Yeah.
He just waited to see where he's going to put it. He's gambled.
He's too late. Yeah. It's good save, and you save fair enough.
And that's why he's running around the pitch with his hat off.
Yeah, he's lifting his cap off like he's just scored 100 at the Oval. But
Trent Bridget
Trent Bridget at Forest. Yeah, I think Stuart Broad was in the crowd, but it's poor from Henderson. That is so poor.
You're losing 1-0 at home, and you're running
well
around
done.
your house.
You got your cap off. You're actually losing 1-0, and then Kane scores later on. So what a donut Henderson is.
A lovely second goal, but it was a lovely cross from
Richie. Stay Richie, lad.
From Richarlison.
Yeah, it was quality.
What a man. After that,
he's doing a keep up and he gets clattered by Johnson. I back Johnson doing that 100%, but I also back Richarlison doing that.
You got to take it and give it, and fair play to both.
And then Richarlison,
because you know if that was the other way around, and that was Johnson doing that.
Richarlison, he's headbutting him. Yeah, he's headbutting him into the stand, 100%. But Richarlison's made 4 sub appearances and rattled everyone in the Prem. So
is it time he starts over Heung-min Son?
I would possibly. Yeah, I don't see why not. Son has not started well at all, and he saw that when he come off
for tomorrow night.
I would probably still. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it's very tough, and you can imagine what it's like for Conte, but I would still have Son. I still believe Son's brilliant. And
as a neutral, I think it's because it's Son and he's got such a good track record. You don't want to drop it. It'd be easier for me looking in.
Yeah, of
easier
course.
To drop
Kulusevski.
Yeah, if he wasn't playing well.
But that's.
If Kulusevski had started like Son had, you'd be like, right, let's give Richarlison a chance. So but Son's got so much credit in the bank.
Yeah, but then also on that I think if Conte does change it, he will drop Kulusevski and keep Son in. So it's like Kane. Like Kane will never get dropped, and rightly so. He's unbelievable. But it's one of those. It's really hard. Who would you start? Who would you drop and start and whatnot? But I think Son can easily start on the bench and give Richarlison a go and play maybe a slightly different way, whether it might be, and that hopefully would give Son a kick up the arse to keep going. But yeah, he's still an unbelievable player and you still want him in your side. But yeah, you saw at the weekend when he come off, he had the right arm, didn't he? Throwing his bib and swearing in Korean, whatever he was saying.
The nicest bloke in football, apparently.
He is.
To finish out this segment, I got two ending comments here. So Tottenham are now unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League games, keeping 6 clean sheets.
It's a joke. And on the clean sheets, before we move on, Sanchez, Big Dave, who I despise. So before the Forest game, it was 9 hours, and obviously now he's played 90 minutes. So 10.5 hours of football without conceding a goal.
And in them 10 games, they've faced Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal without losing. Not the clean sheets, but in them last.
That's a scary stat. So tomorrow night, 4-0 West Ham incoming.
And Arsenal, Manchester City, Tottenham, Brighton, and Newcastle remain the 5 unbeaten teams over 4 games. Over the first 4.
I saw that. Yeah, Newcastle haven't lost yet, have they?
No.
They got City, didn't they? City this week.
City on Wednesday.
Wednesday night, yeah.
Wednesday
yeah.
They have them.
So we're gonna have another little break, and we'll come back and talk about the next few days, give our predictions and some other sections.
As I've just come back from our break, watching the game quickly, goal from Sterling. We've got 3-2 now, and just an equaliser from Lavia.
Yeah, edge of the box try, wasn't it?
Maybe, but
yeah,
maybe we're being a bit harsh.
Mendy under pressure again, but I don't know. First viewing of it looked like poor goalkeeping, but
Sterling 3-2 is. And talking about Raheem, that leads us on to our
team of the week time.
Team of the week time. So we asked us a few weeks ago. We have a Man United goalkeeper in the team of the week.
Yeah, who would have thought it? I didn't really. I didn't watch all the games, didn't see it all, so I could be horribly wrong. But from what I saw, I thought pretty good. Clean sheet away at Southampton. Obviously, they've just scored against Chelsea. De Gea, I think he pulled off quite a good save in the second half that kept it at 1-0. But yeah, just pretty standard. Clean sheet away from home, can't really complain.
I think he looks more confident with a new back.
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
I say back, obviously back 4, but obviously Varane's in there. Malacia, is it?
Malacia and Martinez. Yeah, and just I think definitely the weekend game probably it gave him even more confidence to go on. But yeah, made a good save and kept in the game. So yeah, De Gea makes the team of the week.
And then moving on to the back 2, we've gone double goal scorers, double Liverpool.
Yep.
2 very good players.
Yep, Trent and Van Dijk. Trent and Van Dijk have made our team. Trent obviously scored a worldie. Van Dijk header. Yeah,
they both played quite well. But
your team scores 9 goals. The other team offered absolutely nothing to your defence. So yeah, it was. I think it was pretty straightforward.
I think both of them looking to play themselves back into form after a slow start to the season.
Although
really, I know obviously they played against absolute dross.
Yeah, exactly that. I was about to say everyone's on obviously the Trent hype again, but let's just calm down a sec. They played Bournemouth 9-0, just relax. But yeah, scored a great goal. He's in our team. Yeah,
and then our midfield, we don't have many midfielders this week as there was too many strikers to pick from.
Yeah.
But we did issue it out to the fans of you, and Raheem versus Ruben Neves, and Raheem won by an absolute landslide.
Yeah, Raheem came out on top. I personally thought Neves had a good game from what I scored a good goal. And I went for Neves myself, but I think Raheem 2 goals
Raheem
at home
double gets people's attention.
They like that, don't they? Probably a few Chelsea fans on there, so yeah.
Although
sadly,
you're
Raheem
all
gets
fans,
in.
so we won't slag you off. Thank you for listening.
Yes, but Raheem, and then next to Raheem we've gone for Firmino, didn't we? 2 goals, 3 assists. Can't really brilliant performance, really.
Well, I say back to his best, but
he
just looked good again.
Yeah,
he hasn't looked that good for a while.
Yeah,
and if you get 5 goal contributions, you're in the team.
Yeah, and I think he hasn't scored for. I'm not sure if it's Liverpool at home or Liverpool in the league for 20 Premier League games. Is
it was
right?
2020. Yeah, was his last Anfield home
which is
goal.
Mental,
I think in the league,
which is mad. Because the amount of goal, I know didn't play as much throughout that time, but the amount of goals Liverpool score at home that's pretty mental. So yeah, Firmino has played really well. 2 goals, 3 assists in the side.
And then I think
There's
the
only
most
one man,
obvious
yeah.
choice of the week,
Only one man up front.
Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
No, big goth himself, the monster drinking monster,
The cyborg.
Erling
Leads the line.
Haaland. Wow.
Yeah, hat trick. Cheers. It was just can't keep saying it, but yeah, brilliant. Another brilliant performance, hat trick in your.
6 in 4, another
Yeah.
hat, like you said. Won the game single-handedly, basically. 2-0 down,
Yeah.
he gets a hat trick. Goes
Yeah.
on the first ever Premier League ball,
Mhm.
first of many.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's not the last one we'll see from Haaland. So
But
yeah, that's our side. We've got De Gea, Trent, Van Dijk, Sterling voted by you lot, Firmino, and Erling Haaland.
I think that's very good.
Pretty good.
And
Pretty
again,
good side.
we'll post the team of the week out. We might do a double weekend actually.
Yeah.
Might do a double one next week because there's a midweek game.
Yeah, there's a lot of fixtures at the minute. Premier League,
And,
obviously a lot of
Yeah, but
games
obviously
coming up.
stay on the socials and you'll see what's up.
Yeah,
next.
get involved with the vote. Click on the link.
Hmm.
Yeah, let us know who you want.
Moving on to the winners and losers this week.
Mm.
So the winners, I haven't gone for an extreme one like I did
Bit of
last
a rogue
week.
one, yeah. What was it, like Bournemouth's Kitman's
set
sister
piece.
or something? Yeah, something ridiculous.
I've gone very, very simple.
Yeah,
Liverpool and Bobby Firmino.
yeah.
I
No, it's
thought
good.
A 9-0 and 5 goal involvements.
Yeah.
Very good. I can't say much more than that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna go standard, but I've gone a bit rogue. In fact, I've gone majorly rogue. Maybe not nowhere near Bournemouth's set piece coach, but I've gone for a bloke called Danny Whitehall who plays for Eastleigh in the National League.
Yeah. I've got no idea where she's going, so I'm intrigued.
And at the weekend, they play Eastleigh, who were at home to Southend, and they're 1-0 down with about 20 minutes to go. Danny, you need to see it again. It's like the Preston goal the other week. You need to go and see this goal. But they get a free kick just inside his own half, and the ball's sat down perfectly. So it stops. The refs obviously allowed it. He's sort of taking it quickly. He's a centre forward, but he's the furthest man forward, and he just runs up to his ball, zings it from 10, 12 yards inside his own half, over the goal's head, 1-1, 75th, 77th minute. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So that goal itself is the winner for me. But he actually then, in the 92nd minute, took a free kick. Free kick in the 92nd minute and bangs it in the corner to make it 2-1 to Eastleigh. So
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, Danny Whitehall, bit of a rogue one.
Describe that first goal.
It's Beckham.
Reminds me of. Can you picture Figueroa's?
Oh yeah, no, it is a bit like the way Figueroa took it quickly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a bit Figueroa, a bit Beckham, that sort of distance. Xabi Alonso. Yeah. It's centre of the pitch, but yeah, it's a quality strike and just.
That's what I'm picturing in my head, Figueroa.
Yeah, shameless plug, but yeah, Danny Whitehall actually, he's from England. Like he's a big old Northerner, I think, from Darlington or something. I actually played against him in America. He played for a college state next to me, and. I was a bit like Martinez. I was centre half, 5'9", the little small white English boy against a huge Northerner up front. So you can imagine what he did to me that day. But yeah, I have played against him and he scored a worldie.
We'll tag him in the pod.
Yeah. Let him know. I'm talking about him. But yeah, absolute joker goal. So Danny Whitehall.
Very impressed with that.
Loser week. Go on, Tate.
My loser, right? I've gone for Conor Gallagher.
Yes, before you explain, I've got a few options. I haven't gone for the Conor Gallagher myself, but I said there's a few options. Gallagher, you could have picked Aston Villa, Gerrard, could have gone for Leicester, Brendan Rodgers. But yeah, go on.
I'm going to put I'll put a hot take out here. That will be Conor Gallagher's last ever game for Chelsea.
That's bold.
Only my thinking behind that is there's obviously lots of rumours he might go on loan.
Do you think they'll give him the next couple of days?
Might get a permanent deal somewhere. Chelsea, right now he isn't good enough for Chelsea.
No.
He's obviously a good player. There's obviously potential there.
Yeah.
Chelsea are always a club that is right now you have to be good enough.
Yeah, we need
they don't,
the best
They don't
now.
play kids through.
Yeah.
You need to be 8 out of 10 every week.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't play for Chelsea. We don't allow you to progress. And
the fact,
a couple of players here and there, obviously Reece James and players like that. But
the fact Chelsea haven't started brilliantly and
Gallagher
is a part of that. It's so important as well, centre midfield. But yeah, no.
And obviously he's suspended for tonight's game.
Mm-hmm.
He won't then play again till the weekend when the transfer window.
No, we should talk tonight.
The transfer window is over. I've got a feeling he'll probably move on either on loan or permanent. Probably more likely on loan in the next couple of days. Whereas
Palace were looking.
He might not never play Chelsea again. That was why I just thought loser of the week. Stupid red card, and you've just.
He knew it, didn't he? As soon as that second
idiot.
tackle,
I know he's obviously probably think it's a Chelsea lad as well, but just what are you doing, mate?
Yeah, it was poor, and like I said, he knew as soon as he touched Harvey Barnes and sent him flying, that was his day done. And a few of the players, like you saw, I think Cucurella threw his hands up straight away. It was just absolute brain dead moment. It's such a brain dead moment, but yeah, no, good loser of the week for me. I've gone for what did I go for? Oh yeah, I went for our good mate Scott Parker. Yeah. Again, you're always welcome on the pod, mate. Just don't wear that jacket.
I think he's been loser of the week.
Yeah. There's an argument. Yeah. There's an argument for Scott Parker loser of the week for the first fucking week.
Season so far.
Yeah. But no, I've just gone, especially after today, the fact he got sacked. The 9-0 I wasn't going to pick Parker, but yeah, he got sacked today and just put the icing on top of the cake really. Yeah, I think he's done.
I think deservedly so. I think keeps throwing the cardigan. A 9-0 loss and a sacking all in 3 days.
Yeah, I think he's definitely loser of the week for me.
There isn't many, and you're getting outed on a Lager Laws podcast.
Yeah, with all our mates listening. So, but again, Parker, you're always welcome in the bunker.
We might get him one day.
Yeah, one day when we get there, we'll get Scotty on. Talk about that 9-0 defeat.
And just to finish off, the only other little note I've got here is loser of the week. I'm going to put myself in there with all the other people.
Really?
All the other people that have captained Mo Salah fantasy.
Yeah, stinker.
Who have taken a big L.
Yeah, stinker. Have you got him out of your team yet, or is he still?
No, Salah's the GOAT, so he stays in. He's a fantasy football GOAT. He is.
Yeah.
He's an absolute cheat code. But
he weren't this week.
He weren't this week, but.
Are you captain this week, or who's your captain for the next couple of days?
We'll go on this later on in the next section, but let's have a quick look over them and look at the teams quickly. Liverpool, Newcastle. It's City at home, Forest, Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland. Yeah, I've got captain Haaland.
Yep. Easy. Right. We'll leave you guys there for a second, and we'll be back after this quick advert.
All I want is a piece of shit motor to get me from A to B.
Well, come down to Tell's Bangers, where we sell all type of shit heat motors at affordable prices. Oh, guess what? We've got everything. Fake number plates? What's wrong with that? Built-in ashtrays? What's wrong with that? No seatbelts? What is wrong with that? Why not listen to some feedback from our amazing customers? From where I'm from, I have to steal a car, but with Tell's Bangers, it's stolen for you. I had no cash on me, but at Tell's Bangers, they take any sort of payment, and I mean any. So, next time you're down East Ham, pop down and check out our amazing collection of PS4 cars at Tell's Bangers.
Cheers, Tell. Again, if you're looking for a new car, old, battered, whatever you want, Tell's Bangers is the place to go. But yeah, we're going to move on to the game week 5 and sort of talk about the upcoming games in the next couple of days. But as we said earlier, we're sat here watching a few of the games go on as we speak. Just quick half-time scores. Palace, Brentford 0-0. Fulham, they've just kicked off the second half, but was 0-0, still is, 47th minute. Southampton just took the lead 2-1. Yeah. Armstrong with a nice little finish.
Up the Saints.
But yeah, and Leeds was a bit of a later kick-off, I think.
8 o'clock kick-off.
8 o'clock kick-off, so we've got that on now. And as we speak, Everton have gone 1-0 up. Rodrigo has just dislocated his shoulder and gone off with gas and air. And the Yank, Jesse Marsh. Tate, what was he doing?
Marsh is checking his watch like we're looking for timeouts, or what they call it in basketball.
Pickford, why are you doing timeouts, bro? Sir, this is not allowed. No timeouts. The clock's got to be running.
Tapping his watch after 25 minutes.
So Leeds are 1-0 down to arguably one of the worst teams at the minute.
But no, it would be, if this stays like this, could be a cracking result for Everton, though.
Massive result, yeah. And who scored?
It'll be £60 million this week, Gordon. It'll be £70 million next week.
That's another goal added to the tally. So, yeah, 1-0 up. Rodrigo's gone off, who's on hot form in a minute. So, yeah, like you said, massive. If Everton
can... So Rodrigo off, that's the big...
Yeah. If Everton can hold out or even get another goal, it could be a huge result for the Toffees.
Yeah. And
like I said, we'll talk about the next couple. Well, tomorrow night basically. The main games for us: West Ham, Tottenham,
and Arsenal Villa. personal one for obviously myself. We're both going to the games.
Yeah, it's quite exciting. I'm going to West Ham. Tate's obviously going to the Emirates.
Yeah, with the Ashburton Army.
Yeah. Are you part of that black? Is it the black T-shirt gang?
I'm actually in that end tomorrow.
Are you wearing a black top?
I'm in that section. No, I won't wear a black top. I will normally wear.
What is that about? Is that a new thing? Oh, it's just Pickford. Oh.
No, well, if you've gone to away games before, all the unquote ultras wear black. So my Dutch listeners, the PSV fans,
right,
they've got one end which is like their lively end, all wear black. When I went to Roma, it was Roma versus AC in October.
Yeah,
and what's that today? The away end turned up all the coaches, the AC Milan fans.
Yeah.
Every single person head to toe in black.
Really?
It's the art.
They do it, yeah.
It's a quote unquote ultra, basically.
Yeah. It's different. It's quite different at home, like in England.
It's quite different if it's Arsenal, AC Milan, whoever.
Yeah.
All it is, I imagine, is so if you get in a fight, what was he wearing? I was wearing that bright pink baseball cap.
Yeah.
You can't. Was he wearing a black hat?
Yeah. It's different in Europe though. Italy, France, and obviously sometimes.
It's
Spain,
also different if it's
very different.
5:30 kickoff at home to Fulham than it is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're
tomorrow night Villa. Do you know what I mean? Comfortable.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't know.
It's got to be in it. It's got to be another
Villa
win. 5 out of 5.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I can't picture Arsenal winning 5 out of 5.
Exactly. I said that earlier.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to win it, but the two things that do worry me are Partey seems to be out for a little while. They're coming out online, the reports.
Right. Is that injury or is he going to prison?
We can't talk about that. Can't talk about that on here yet.
Oh, sorry.
It might be a hidden reason why, but he's injured for the time being, and Zinchenko also out. He's been a really good start.
He's done something wrong with his knee, isn't it?
I don't think it's that bad because he was running up and down the touchline.
Right. I saw that. Yeah. Did you see that when he come on? The steward thought he was a fan or whatever, and tried to grab him. Yeah. That's quite funny.
I mean, it's not exactly bad. It's also bad. No one wants to hear a player get injured, but El Neni apparently has really done like a grade 3 tear in his hamstring.
Yeah, he's had a stinker and he's out for a long time. And
so
Fulham just gone 1-0 up. The big Mitro just gone.
And the bloke is flying this year.
He's on fire, isn't he? On absolute flames, the boy.
He is firing. Done his hamstring, so I don't know who's going to play in that 6th position for Arsenal, whether they drop Xhaka in there or they put Sambi in there.
Yeah. Has he played this year, that Sambi? Is it Lokonga?
A few sub-appearances here and there. But the problem with him is that we played him in 2 6s. When we lost to Southampton away and Brighton at home, played a 6 in both and was dire.
Rubbish, yeah. He's young though, isn't he? 20, 21?
20 or something like that.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll bring Xhaka down to the 6. But if Zinchenko is fit, then he might even play there.
Yeah. Did Tierney play at the weekend?
Yeah, who got hooked after 60 minutes for
really?
reason. But then they put Eddie on, who actually played really well, actually. He should have scored, but he didn't.
Yeah. How long did he play in Kate at the weekend?
30 minutes.
Half hour.
So
he had a good couple of chances. That one when he brought down, he just stopped, didn't he? He started and he should have hit it as
still
it
yet to
down.
Play 60 minutes so far, I think.
Yeah.
So he'll get there.
So it's only one goal for United, isn't it? Fernandes.
Yeah, so they're still all on one. Yeah. And we might not have time to talk about it this year, but obviously the Europa League draws come out.
Yep. Arsenal
Spurs have got Europa League draw in the Champions League group.
Yeah, we did. Out of all the groups, we got a very favourable draw. So yeah, it's quite happy with that. To be fair.
And if you could tell me who the mighty West Ham got in their draw?
They got. I think they're called FCSB, but it's basically Steaua Bucharest. They've just changed their name. They're the same team. Anderlecht. That's quite a tough. Quite a tough.
Oh, yeah, Anderlecht. I actually have heard of Anderlecht before.
Yeah.
Considering for
the last team was Silky Boar, Psyche, whatever they're called. But a little stat on Anderlecht West Ham. Last time, or they faced each other in a Cup Winners' Cup in 75-76. And Tate, who won that game?
Well, I'm assuming it can only be one team.
It was not West Ham, if you were wondering. So Anderlecht won the Cup Winners' Cup in that year. So yeah, West Ham, you lost and you're going to lose again this year.
I'm pretty sure there's a. If you saw the Anderlecht team, there's like 1 or 2 players we would know. I know Nani doesn't play there now, but he might have even gone there for like 6 months.
That's where Company was, wasn't he? So.
Yeah, I'm sure they had some weird players there.
Last year they had I think Josh Cullen now plays for Burnley. He represents Ireland, but yeah, they should be it's quite a tough test really. I think Steaua Bucharest and Anderlecht's quite a difficult draw.
As a person, I'm looking forward to Arsenal and PSV because I've got a few friends out in Holland who have always wanted to do that, but the joke of it is the away leg which I'd always normally go to. Flights to Eindhoven cost like 30 quid
now,
max. 30 quid max.
Yeah.
Looked on Friday after the draw got announced.
Yeah.
£400.
Oh,
I
can't. You can't be doing that on a.
I can't be doing that.
What night will it be, Tate?
Thursday
night.
Thursday,
Okay,
yeah.
That's
Well, sometimes I play on Wednesdays. Fuck off.
Spurs, like I said, it's a very favourable draw. Lisbon, Marseille, and Frankfurt, who actually beat West Ham last year. That massive side from East London knocked them out in that huge Europa League competition.
Shall I tell you what game I'm looking forward to though?
Go on.
Is Spurs Marseille. And I don't want to get you. You'll probably walk the group, but Marseille, I don't know if you know, have Sead Kolasinac, Matteo Guendouzi.
Yeah, Guendouzi, little rat, rat.
Nuno Tavares and Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, that just screams 2-0 Marseille, doesn't it? Guendouzi.
What would be beautiful, obviously, if as an Arsenal fan, would be if Sanchez could roll back the clock and do the Serge Gnabry.
Oh no,
cooking in front of the wall.
I think we'll get through that group. I'd hate to say, we're gonna walk through it, win it. It's not gonna win every game, but I'd hope to think we get through.
No doubt, yeah.
Although Conte's record in Europe in Champions League is very poor. I think I saw 3 group stages knocked out. Got to a quarter-final once and a round of 16 once. So not great, and hopefully that changes this year. I don't saying, get to the final, we're going to win it, but yeah, we should get through the group quite comfortably.
Yeah, I'd imagine you to get through that group.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. I don't know because I haven't even bothered to look because I don't really care about Europe this year. Well, I do obviously, but
Nketiah?
It's not. No, but in terms of fixtures, I'm thinking out loud. Does the Champions League and Europa League stages finish before the World Cup? Have you got
Good question. Idea? I don't know. I wouldn't say, but we start. Our first game is Marseille in like the first week of September. So, and then we have Lisbon a week or two after.
I'm assuming
it's
it
a lot.
Does.
It must. It makes sense if it does. That's a lot.
It
of football.
normally ends in December, doesn't it? And then Greece takes in February.
That is a lot of football. But yeah, we're already thinking about that Champions League game or games already, and yeah, we've not started brilliantly, so it could be.
But for a Spurs fan yourself, 2 cracking away days. You got Marseille and Frankfurt.
Yeah, and Lisbon as well. I'd like to go to one of them, probably maybe Frankfurt, looking likely. But like you said about the PSV, the flights
to for a joke, mate.
Yeah, when you look at the flights, they're nice and cheap beforehand. As soon as the fixture get announced, the companies just go, yep, there'll be loads of football fans, and it's a lot of money for maybe 2 nights or a night, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of money to fork out, but
no, I'll definitely go to the home leg for the PSV.
Yeah, we'd like to do a few, but yeah, getting back to the games, the massive game tomorrow night.
Yeah, so at the London Stadium under lights, score last year, you lost
1-0. Yeah, Antonio, because Kane basically didn't defend, but
he was that corner, wasn't it? So this is going to be Jack and I's wager of the week.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna back the Hammers. Not often the Hammers get backed on this podcast.
Yeah, they don't, and rightly so, for good reason.
I'm gonna go a night to remember at the London Stadium
for the Hammers.
2-0 West Ham.
2-0. You don't think we'll score?
I'm putting out. I'm going bold.
I pray that we score.
I'm going bold. I think I'll probably be completely wrong, but I'm going bold.
I'll go Scamacca. Look, Gianluca.
Scamacca on the double.
Yeah. Wow, if that happens, I'll be gone by the 60th minute.
West Ham folk hero.
No, I'm going to say 2-1, but like I said all week, and
West Ham or Spurs?
Definitely Tottenham. But yeah, like I said all week, it doesn't matter how bad or how good we are, how terrible West Ham have been. That game is irrelevant, and we have to turn up, and we have to match them, their effort and their physicality, and run as hard and tackle and all the rest of it as much as they do, and then hopefully our front three and certain players will turn up, and we should have more than enough to beat them. But Leeds just had a long effort, nowhere near the goal. But yeah, West Ham for us is always a dodgy game. As a Spurs fan, you just know what's going to happen. You know they're going to be brilliant. Antonio will turn up, Rice will turn up. So yeah, I want to go. I want to see a win, of course, but yeah, it's going to be very tight and tense. I think very close game.
So you're going for a away win, and I'll go for a
2-1
win.
I'd love a little Richarlison 93rd minute sort of header that loops over Areola. He just wheels away. the away end is absolute scenes, and then all the fake East End geezers that live in Chelmsford with their flat caps on all walk out with their tails between their legs.
We shall see. We shall see. Right, that's going to pretty much bring an end to the pod. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we will end on Tate's trivia teaser. I've seen Jack putting down some notes here and there in front of me.
I've basically no clue, but I've given it a go.
So, which 3 players have scored a hat-trick in the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions, and the Champions League?
And Champions League. Right, so I've gone Harry Kane.
He is one.
One of them, good. I've gone Aguero.
He is also one.
Good, that's 2 out of 3. And to be honest, I was struggling big time, even with those 2. But I've gone CR7, Ronaldo.
Incorrect.
Incorrect, really.
So, just to
reveal.
Just to give the listeners a bit more time, if you wanted to, I'm going to give you one clue.
Have a little pause if you want.
Pause it,
yeah, have a little think
and whatnot. This player has played, and I'll give you one more guess.
Mm-hmm.
This player has played for Arsenal, Liverpool, West Ham, and Chelsea. And he is the 3rd player.
He's played for Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and West Ham.
Yes, correct.
God.
He is a rogue one.
Oh, I would have struggled here.
Oh,
hang on.
He's not quite.
Okay.
He's not quite a streets won't forget.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Before you get it, we're gonna. If you don't want to hear the answer, you don't want to hear his answer.
Yeah.
Then do press pause.
Yeah.
But Jack, fire away in
3. I think I've got it.
2, 1.
Is it Yossi Benayoun?
It is correct.
Oh, get it.
Yossi Benayoun.
The little Israeli. Yeah, I remember because the fact you said those 4 teams and that's clocked. Yeah. Decent. That's a good question.
I mean, I remember him scoring his hat-trick in the Champions League for
I can't say
Liverpool.
I remember him scoring hat-tricks for any of those teams, but
I don't think he scored a hat-trick for Arsenal. I think West Ham he must have done the other 2. Or Chelsea, I don't know. But he was actually
decent.
He actually was all right for Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, a bad little player. Very good. No, I like it. I think we'll keep that in whenever we do record a podcast, maybe week to week or whatever we do. So, yeah, and like we said, get involved. Send us a message, comment if you
you've
can.
got your own trivia question yourself, you want to add
give us some ideas, questions, whatnot. So,
and I have said to Jack before we go, whatever happens tomorrow night, he's opening the podcast, the next podcast.
Yeah, Thursday could be a very, very good day or a very, very bad day.
We've got a few West Ham fans who are eager to get some own back on the co-host.
Yeah, I saw a few over the weekend as well, and we have mentioned them tonight. You obviously won at the weekend, so. Yeah, you can't be too disheartened with what we said, I don't think. But yeah, in the next couple of days we'll see, and I just hope to come back when we record the next one that Spurs have beat you. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting evening. That's all I say, an interesting evening.
Yeah, well, and I think that nice wraps up. And like we said before, thank you for all your listeners, and thank you for all your comments. And like we said, we always appreciate feedback and new ideas.
Yeah.
To get involved, and
keep listening.
Fantastic.
Yeah, give us ideas, comments, message us, and that's what we want. We want to start a conversation. So if we see you on a night out, or you come in, we see you on a weekend, wherever it might be, then if you think, it's a great podcast, but I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with what you said about him, then great, that's fine. I just want to. That's what we want to do. Talk about football, talk a load of rubbish like we always do. So, right. Stay loyal, boys.
Stay loyal.